Hey everyone, so I wanted to talk about something I've been thinking about today, especially. So I just had several days where things were absolute crap. And you think you get to a certain point in life of everything you've learned so much, you've come so far, everything just is a ride, a smooth ride, and that is so not the case. And there are things, life is always going to throw us things to, um, it just happens and it sucks. And what I'm learning is, I'll just give you an example. So last week I was having a hard couple days. Some things happened that were beyond my control. My Instagram, the all my family's pictures, everything that I've posted on Instagram, I started sharing my videos and business stuff and family stuff. It was taken over completely by somebody else. And then I had this situation with a person that, you know, sucked. And then my Brian, my fiance, he told me I was having, like, I was sulking and I was like, why is life a struggle? Like, I'm trying. Why am I not being rewarded? And I was going into a self sabotaging story of like, my life is a struggle and I must not be meant for greatness? And he was like, honey, you have the light within you. Like, nobody can take that away. you you have your own power. Like, nobody can take your power. No one can take your light. That's yours. They can take over your Instagram. This person can disagree with you. It does suck and it hurts your feelings, but they can't take that away from you, you know? And I was like, yeah, you're right. They No one can take away our light, but it feels like it sometimes. We feel like our light is dim sometimes. So, what has really helped me in situations is to honor where I'm at and not like force me to be positive or not force me to feel something I'm not. Like, really being raw with my how I'm feeling and honoring that and honoring what my body needs. Does my body need rest or to go for a walk or to journal or to talk about it? What do I need? So really honoring myself has been so key. And another thing that those of us who are in the consider us ourselves more spiritual, we have done a lot of work on ourselves, a lot of healing. I feel like we often, so many of us, have these lives where it does feel like more of a struggle than somebody like maybe our neighbor who just kind of breezes through life. Like, they still have stuff that happens, but they don't seem so like emotionally, what's the word I'm looking for, um rattled by it. They seem just grounded and sure of themselves, and their life path just kind of flows. Whereas some of us spiritual healers or teachers that share this with other people, it feels like sometimes our life hasn't really gone that as smooth, or we seem to have struggled emotionally a little bit more, or with life a little bit more. And I feel part of that is looking at it like, I have been called to do this. I have been called to be a spiritual healer in a sense. And I think we all are spiritual healers. I think every one of us are. It's all just different degrees. And I think those, like, the bigger the lesson, the bigger the blessing. Like, I know that seems hard to hear sometimes when we're going through a hard time, but I really feel like all these things, like having a handicapped sister, oh my gosh, what a blessing that is to have her. She has taught me to be so humble and kind and to honor people and to see them where they're at, no matter where they are at in their life. Not to say that I don't mess up sometimes. I'm human, but she has taught me so many things. My parents, watching them, what I what I considered sometimes as a struggle with no money, they're always so giving. They're always so giving with their hearts, with stuff that it has really put an impression on my heart to treat people with such kindness and to just honor people where they are. And with my personal life, with my relationships of people I've chosen, the a really abusive relationship that I was in, it has really taught me to honor myself. I can be naturally sometimes a people pleaser. I want people to be happy. Like, I'm a very kind, nurturing person, and I believe people. And so being in those relationships have taught me a lot about myself, about honoring my boundaries with people. And now I have a very small circle of people that are so uplifting, and they honor me, and they love me unconditionally. And I can look at it like I've created that circle for myself. I manifested these people because now I love myself unconditionally. And so now I'm attracting people that do love me unconditionally. And so I feel like I do slide back into like my old stories or old ways of thinking that aren't good for me, but I don't stay there as long. And so really doing all the work, I honor where I'm at, and I give myself what I need. And that's not always easy to do, by the way. Um, today I was feeling really tired, and I could have been doing a lot of business work or getting stuff taken care of around the house, because I had off this morning, and I really honored my body, and I laid in bed and just rested. I allowed myself to have that space and time, and it's just learning how to find the flow, find the alignment, your soul alignment with source. It's really honoring yourself of where you're at and what you need to do for you, and knowing that all these things that life has brought it are really, I can look at it now, really have made me, just like it has made you, into the person that we are today. So when life seems like a total chaotic mess, realizing, it helps me to realize that life is always going to be throwing, no matter how far we think we have come. Life is always going to throw us more things, because if I didn't have last week, I wouldn't have learned from the things I learned from last week. I wouldn't have been reminded that, yes, okay, I do have the light within me that nobody can take away. I was reminded of that, and I can bring that into other areas of my life in the future. It's just like the snowball effect of spiritual healing and growth that we get to go through all these things that are thrown at our way. They may be thrown at us, but we are able to overcome these things, and we're able to do a lot of self-reflecting and growing. So really honoring where you're at, what you need, and growing from it, and knowing that, we're all here to help each other grow and learn and be the light that we are beyond all the situations, the circumstances of our life. We truly are, you are this light that is connected with source. And I just think anything is possible, in this life, once we can tap into that connection, that true, genuine connection within ourselves. We allow ourselves to manifest amazing things. Everything that we could want to manifest is possible, when we tap into our true alignment. So I guess, I don't want to get too off topic, but I just want to come on here to share my experience of when life feels like a struggle, and knowing that I can look back and say, yeah, my life, things haven't come easy for me, I feel like, ever, but I am so much more persistent and dedicated, and I don't give up. Ask my parents. They're like, as a kid, I I'm persistent. My boyfriend can tell you, Brian can tell you, when I have something on my mind, I don't let up easy. And that is through like just the conditioning and circumstances of my life. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. And I haven't always been that way. I have learned to become that way. When I want something and I know it's for me, I will do everything to make it happen. And that also includes I'm learning to take the time to get there. I want to rush and make it happen like yesterday. And that can bring me to frustration when things don't happen because everything's not meant to unfold in my timing. It's divine timing. It's when I've learned some things that I've really wanted that I didn't get, they weren't for me, or they weren't for me at the time. So everything's not meant to be on my time, on Angie time. It's like source time. And like maybe you feel like that for yourself. Maybe you feel frustrated, but Brian and I were talking about a situation that we both want to manifest someday. And we both agreed to let things unfold in divine timing. Once we are connected with source, with ourselves, we will allow situations, or we will allow things to unfold naturally, through inspiration, through being inspired, and not through desperation, because that like backtracks. We're backtracked when we're coming from that place. So, and we talked about like there's no rush to forever. If things are meant for us, they will happen, and we just need to trust. We need to trust and believe that it will happen. But we have to honor ourselves first to get there. So I just want to share that with you guys in case this will help anybody today that maybe thinking, feeling that life is a struggle. There's so many great things that have come from my life from it being a struggle, from feeling like a true struggle, like nothing comes easy at all for me. But it has made me so persistent. It has made me dedicated. It has made me like not give up, and not give up on myself when I felt like I've wanted to give up on myself. So maybe you can relate to it. Maybe there's something in your life that you're going through right now that you can feel into. So let me know if this has helped you guys, or what situation you're in, or how you're feeling about it. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye.